On the table today, I'm going to be getting into the Halloween spirit by going over the scariest parts of real estate investing and how you can overcome these fears. The goal today is to help you overcome your fears as potential real estate investors and encourage you to get educated in real estate investing. With that being said, let's start with the biggest fear, talking to people.
Hi, I'm Victor Maas, real estate attorney, broker, and investor, but no one really cares. What they care about is that I'm a problem solver. So that's what I do for a living, is solve problems.
I'm going to show you to find deals you never even knew existed.
Deals are everywhere, but you got to get off your butt.
One deal is all it takes to change your life. Victor freaking Maas, that's right.
Why do you think this is potentially investors' biggest fear when it comes to real estate investing? Talking to people. The truth is, a lot of people have fear of rejection. We were just having a conversation, my staff and I, over lunch, about going up to a group of women, let's just say 7 women, and you're interested as a guy in dating one of them or asking one out. And that could be the biggest fear. That fear of rejection is the same fear as going to a seller and saying, hey, I'd like to buy your home. Would you have any interest in selling it? It's just the biggest fear of rejection. And it really, really is something that you can overcome through sheer practice. And so, kind of like dating, and I'm going to use this as an example. Backstory. I was married for about 25 years and hadn't dated since I was 20. So here I am in my mid to late 40s and I have to start dating for the first time ever. And I'm telling you, I made every mistake in the book. And I don't mind sharing that with you because those are my life experiences. And you're going to go through your own of trying to overcome these fears. And so you can do things, I now know, that would lessen, I guess, the fear of it. When I first started dating, I was afraid. I hadn't asked anyone out in over 25 years, and the game had changed. Cell phones were prevalent. When I last dated, we were using pagers to communicate. Think about that. There was no internet. So now we have dating apps, crazy, and you can get so much information nowadays, you're better prepared. I'm going to use these as examples. If I want to ask someone out or I want to buy their home, you know what? Dress the part. Okay? Start with that. Dress the part. Groom yourself. Make sure you don't smell. Don't show up in flip-flops and shorts and wife beater shirts. You show up professionally, not in a suit, but you dress up nicely. You smell good, a little cologne. So that's a good thing. Number 2, know a lot about the property. It's so important that you understand if there's any taxes, mortgages, liens, judgments, you name it, be prepared. 3rd, don't ask to buy properties. You're there to find out if they need help. If they don't need help, be okay with that. Hey, I subscribe to a list of homes that are scheduled for auction soon by the banks. Unfortunately, your home is on that list, and I was wanting to know if you needed any help. If you do, my partner and I would love to help you. And just start with something like that. The follow-up question is always, how can we help you? What do we need to do to earn your business? That's if they want to sell. If they don't want to sell, be okay with that. You're not going to get every deal. Think about it as going fishing. If you cast out 100 times and you catch 2 fish, is that a successful outing? I think it's a successful outing. So if you have to talk to 100 sellers, you buy 2 properties, great. You're trying to make 20, 30 grand per property. That's a good living. If you do 1 deal a month, hell, 1 every other month, hell, once a year, that's still better than nothing. It's just part of the game. You're going to get some rejection and be okay with that. I think I'm pretty awesome at this game, but I've been rejected plenty of times and been told off and cursed at over the last 20 years, and that's okay. That means that person wasn't right for me and I wasn't right for them, and you got to be okay with that. So I guess my biggest advice is it's okay to be fearful, but it's not okay not to try. It's not okay. Real estate is actually pretty simple if you ask me. It's the other parts, the overcoming the fear, that's the hard part. Getting off your butt, that's the hard part. Financing is easy. Finding buyers is easy. Finding the deals is hard, yes, but really overcoming yourself and your fears, in my opinion, is the hardest thing. So one of the solutions that people can do to overcome these is by, honestly, fail forward. That's how you can overcome a lot of this. It's just fail forward. You honestly think that tomorrow there's not even more deals? There are more deals out there you could ever imagine. So my biggest advice is go out there and fail. That's right, just go fail. Who cares? Practice on your speech. Realize that you're going to be, scared, and that's okay. And by doing it over and over and over, you're going to overcome your fear, in my opinion. If you really, really are so crazy about this and you just can't do it, another solution is to get a partner who is okay with talking to people and being, okay with failing and being told piss off or whatever. So that's another solution. Another solution is to go find someone who could help you overcome this, a coach of sorts. And I'm telling you, sitting next to me as we talk to sellers, you're going to find that it's not that complicated. The only person who complicates this is yourself, and you don't have to complicate it. Introduce yourself, verify it's the person you're looking for, explain why you're there, see if they're interested, and if they are, see how you can help them solve their problem. They don't care about your problems. You're there to see if you can help them with their problem. And if they have a real problem, they're going to be glad you showed up and called them or texted them or knocked on the door. So every so often here in town, and I'm sure in all over America, we have what's called the circus that comes through town. That's what I call it. It's real estate guru systems that come in through town and are trying to get you to go to a free event for 30 minutes to an hour. And then they're going to try to sell you in a 3-day weekend, $1,500 to $2,000. And then they're going to try to get you to sign up for their coaching program, which is $40,000, $50,000. I've even seen as much as $100,000. And the reality is the people that are selling you are just that, salespeople. You're never going to have the mentor, the guru, or the TV personality come and train you how to do it. They don't know San Antonio. They don't know Texas. They know Las Vegas, Los Angeles, wherever they're from, but they really don't know Texas. And so your fear is that you're going to lose a lot of money. And the truth is, it's well-founded. I've met so many people that have come to our association to learn real estate. And when I ask them, why haven't you started sooner? And they say, well, honestly, I got scammed out of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And it took me a while to overcome losing money again. And so we charge very little for our coaching program because we want you to have some skin in the game, but I'm the guy that teaches you. I don't pawn you off to somebody. I do a 3-day online video training, and then I have you do 2 days with me in person so we can really get out there and start trying to find leads and deals. And we'll call sellers together, and I'm telling you, this is a great way to overcome the fear of a scam. By the way, when I do deals with you, I put up the money. That's right. I will help negotiate it. I will do the closing. I'll do the disposition or wholesaling of that property. I want you to see from A to Z how easy this is if you get off your butt. So that helps you overcome the fear of losing money in an investment by letting me put up my money. Now, over time, if you're going to do a lot of deals, I do recommend that you do partners. I do recommend you use hard money so you don't use all your own money. But more importantly, know where the deals are at. If you buy a deal, you could screw it all up and you'd still come out ahead because you're not buying stupidly like a lot of people. One of the great ways to help yourself from losing a lot of money learning real estate is by not going to these out-of-town clowns who don't know Texas. Secondly, you don't have to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in education. We charge a very small amount to get some skin in the game out of you. Truth is, the way I make money is when we do deals together. I make way more money doing it that way. My last deal with one of my students about 2 weeks ago, we netted over $95,000 on a wholesale. And we split that, and I put up all the money to acquire it. Then we wholesale it and made a lot of money. So that's where I make my money. And I want you and I to make a lot of money together if you do our coaching program, and now you know where to go find the deals. So a lot of people are afraid of getting into real estate investing because they feel they're going to lose a lot of money in training, a lot of money just investing, and they don't want to do that. They're so afraid of actually taking a chance at life because they've seen or heard of friends who've lost their money. Well, here's the thing. It all comes down to numbers. I don't do dumbass deals. I just don't. I do sound deals. I always start at the very end. What do I think this could sell for conservatively? So if it's going to sell for $200,000 conservatively, I never pay more than 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs. So let's say the repairs are 30 grand. So 200,000 times 70% is 140. minus the rehab of 30 grand puts me at 110. That's the most I can pay for that property. So I'm going to start at something like 70 or 80 grand with the sellers. And why? Because I want to make 20 or 30 grand on a wholesale. Now, why would they do that? We're not talking about pretty homes here, folks. We're talking about distressed situations. The title's all jacked up. The house is all messed up. We are problem solvers. We're not investors. And for the problem to go away, I'm going to buy it at 80 grand, wholesale it for 110 or more, and make a quick 20, 30 grand when it's all said and done. So if you just look at the numbers, logically take emotions out of the equation, you can't lose money at this. There just isn't a possible way for you to lose money if you do this right. And that's just numbers. They don't lie. Anytime I'm doing a real estate deal, I always start with the local county appraisal district, or in my area, Bexar County, we do BCAD. So I go on there, I want to see who owns the property, how long they've owned it, what the tax value is, the size of the home, when it was built, different mailing address. It's all on the CAD, the County Appraisal District website. And with that information, then that allows me to go to the county deed records and do a title search. I search by legal description and him and her names. I can also search by address. And what I'm looking for is the story of the property. The deed records is pretty much 90% of the story. It tells you when they bought it, how much they borrowed, have they gotten any liens or judgments against them, HOAs, you name it. It's all in there. And if it's not, then it doesn't count. It doesn't count unless it's in there. That then helps me decide whether or not I want to pursue this deal or not. Believe it or not, they may have refinanced a year and squeezed out all the equity, and you know what? It's not worth going after, especially if it's up for foreclosure. What if it's a reverse mortgage? I've never bought a property with a reverse mortgage because the principal goes up. And so I just avoid those, okay? So one of the things you can do to help yourself learn this business is go on YouTube, type in Texas real estate resale contracts, and trust me, you'll get tons of people explaining to you how to do a sales contract in Texas. It's not that complicated. There just has to be a meeting of the mind in writing and some sort of legal consideration, which is money, earnest money basically. All you need to do is 10 bucks. I always advise 100, but 10 bucks is all you need to tie up a deal. Then you need another, at least $10 option period for you to be able to walk out of that deal. And sometimes you want to walk away from deals, especially when you're starting out. So learn the option period in the contracts, especially here in Texas, where you can walk away for any reason if you give legal consideration. Can real estate lawyers review contracts to make sure a deal is fair? I think some attorneys can see if it's legal, but they can't tell you if it's fair or not. A lot of lawyers don't know valuations. They don't know market trends. All they know is contracts. So I don't know if that's going to be helpful to you or not, but the one guy in town who does the legal and the valuations is me. So I can meet with you, go over your sales contracts, and then I can tell you or advise you whether I think this is a good deal or not. But once again, it comes down to the numbers. Does it make sense financially? And again, I'm reverse engineering. What's it worth? I buy it 70%. What do I think the rehab is going to be? I minus that out. Any judgments or back taxes, minus that out. And that's your max offer. So, as I mentioned earlier, having a partner, even not me, is still better than not doing a deal. There's an old saying, 100% of nothing is still nothing, and 50% of a lot is still a lot. So, I encourage you, as you're starting this game out, is to get a partner. One, another set of eyes. Two, someone can give you confidence that you both can do it together. And once you've done a few deals, you're going to realize you overthought it. It's not that complicated. Real estate investing is simple. Overcoming yourself and all your excuses, that's the hardest part of this business. So I don't know about you guys, but back in the 90s when I was a young kid, I would buy the the television infomercials, real estate investing. Why did I do that? Well, my dad was in real estate. I thought, I'd love to learn how to do real estate investing. So I bought one here, one there. You know what I did with those programs? I put them on the shelf. That's right. They make a lot of money selling information, knowing that most of us will not get off our ass. And so my fear back then was I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a partner. I didn't have any money. But what helped me get through that, self-created barrier is this: fear. I use fear to get me to take action. For example, If I have a bad heart, well, I'm going to be fearful I'm going to have a heart attack. So guess what? I'm going to start jogging. I'm going to start eating better. I'm going to stop drinking and stop smoking if I was any of those things. So fear can be a powerful tool to get you to take action. One of my favorite guys to watch online is Tony Robbins. And he talks about there's only 2 ways to get people to take action. 2 ways. 1, pleasure. And 2, fear. And of the 2, fear is the most powerful one. Use it for your benefit. You have to tell yourself in the morning, you know, I got to go jogging. I don't want to. I'm like that sometimes. But then I use fear. I use fear to motivate me to get off my butt and take action. So fear is not a bad thing if you use it right. Kind of like getting into debt. It's not a bad thing if you use it right. If you use it wrong, yeah, it's bad. Absolutely. So how can people become motivated to begin their investing journey? I often think you need a big why. You can't say, because I want to, financial freedom. You can't say, I just need money. Go get a job. All those things can be done with J-O-B. You've got to give yourself something more. For me, it's traveling. I love to travel. I think my staff knows that. I've been like 7 or 8 trips this year. I've got 1 or 2 more still before the year's done that I want to go. So by being the boss, working for myself, I can travel when I want. And so I encourage you to find your why. For a long time, for me, my why was my kids. I have 3 daughters, and they have expensive tastes, and they want to travel, and they want to do this. But now that I'm divorcing, I'm telling you, my big thing nowadays is travel. What helps me overcome that is I know for a fact that I have less time on this planet than I've actually lived. So I want to make sure I don't waste what little time I do have. And traveling is a big thing. Even this morning, as I wake up, I'm thinking, I just came back from Vegas this past weekend. Where would I like to go next? Especially if my birthday is the end of next month. I thought, you know what? I want to plan something. So being able to do that, that's my why. Find out what your why is. If all you want is financial freedom, it's not enough. I think big things, whether it's buying a big fat house or paying for your kids' education, something beyond yourself, I think will help you motivate enough to get off your butt and take action. One of the things I advise our students to do from the get-go is to have a system that works for you. So for example, if you're working from home, have a private room or have a desk area, an office area that's just yours. The dining room table is not where you should be working at. You need quiet, you need maybe an eraser board, some file cabinets, a computer, strong, fast internet, whatever you want to call it, and that way you have a system working for you. From 9 to 12, you do prospecting. From 1 till 4, you're trying to email, text, do mail outs to your leads. And then between 4 and 8, you're calling, texting, emailing, trying to get a hold of these people, trying to meet with them to see if they're interested in selling their property. The point is, come up with a system that works for you. One of the things I was having a texting with somebody I'm dating right now is she stayed up past 2 in the morning, and now she feels terrible because she had to be at work at 7 in the morning. And I only mention that because that will put you in a rut. You're going to be exhausted, you're going to waste your day, you're not going to be productive. So have a set schedule. Seriously, my dad would go to bed every night at 10:30, get up every morning at 6. That was his thing. I'm not always that good about that, but have a system that works for you is the best advice I can give you so you don't fall into a rut. So, one of our biggest things here is we want to advise you to get some education. Even if it's not with me, get some education. You need to learn where to go fishing for deals. They're everywhere. I'm going to tell you right now, there are more deals out there than you could ever imagine. If I had 100 of me, we still couldn't scratch the surface of what's out there. And here's why. Every day, people do dumb things. They die without wills. They get divorces. They live beyond their means. They fight with their significant others. They get sick. It's just a bunch of bad things that creates opportunities for us to go solve. So once you have the education, now you got to know how to put it into action. And it's very simple. I mentioned before, have a system. Have a system. Write it down. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Put it in your office. These are the things I must do every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, so forth. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the hard part for somebody. If you're watching this, listening to this. When you first start out, don't expect to work 5 hours a month and expect to get deals. You're going to have to put in at least 5 hours a day sometimes. Maybe 50 hours a week, 70 hours a week. I don't know. But here's the thing, you got to learn what works and what doesn't work for you in your area. But sitting at home and doing what everybody else does, which is, this is everybody's marketing, looking for deals. You ready? That's what most people do. They hope, they pray. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. It's kind of like working out. You can't pray for better health. You have to take action, eat healthier, get a good night's sleep. Real estate investing is no different. What kind of plan do you have, and what kind of plan do you have for yourself to be successful? Write it down. And if it doesn't work, adapt it. Keep trying. If that still doesn't work, find someone who's actually very successful. Ask to help them out, run their leads, anything to be successful. If you think this is Starbucks and you can order, your latte and it's going to be served to you on a silver platter, it's not. You have to become a problem solver, and if you're not, you're wasting everybody's time. Nobody cares what you want. It's only, can you solve our problems if we're in trouble? Once you've gotten our training, first thing I tell you to do is go out there and start working a lead source or two. And we'll teach you how to do it from start to finish. Find the leads, find the owners or the heirs, and make an agreement. That's it. Rinse and repeat. I wish I could complicate it, but I'm not going to. Someone once told me a funny story. How do you sell a head of lettuce that you can buy for $5? How do you sell it for $1? How can you sell it for $5? I repeat, a head of lettuce you can buy for $1. How do you sell it for $5? Simple. You slice it up, you put it in a bag, and you call it a salad. Okay? A lot of these gurus out there, that's what they do. They take a very simple idea and they complicate it. Why would you pay $40,000, $50,000 if it's not complicated? It doesn't have to be. They're not going to show you anything so spectacular that you should have to spend 40, 50 grand. I'm sorry, there just isn't. So learn where the deals are at, learn how to find people, and learn how to put a deal together. That's it. Everything else is just noises. One of the easiest ways for you to find leads right off the bat is figure out what wholesale buyers want or retail buyers want. It's the same thing, I assure you. And then go drive for dollars. Take your foot off the accelerator, the gas, and just go up and down neighborhoods. Have a map, highlight all the streets you go down, and look for ugly, stinky, dirty, vacant homes. Write them down. And don't go home till you at least have 50 of them. Once you get home, put them in a spreadsheet. Street number, street name, city, state, zip code, tax value, and is it good or not? If it's no good, just put NG. Why is it not good? Because it's owned by an investor, a bank, government agency, something like that. They bought it, 6 weeks ago, a year ago, and there's no equity in it. NG. When you sort them all, you can just delete them all at one time. The ones that are good, put down, hey, purchased in, 2002. They got a loan 18 years ago, 19 years ago. Great, that's worth pursuing. And so now that you know they're vacant, you took your 50 down to maybe 20. Now it's your job to find those people. So we teach our students how to find people, 20 different ways to find people. And once you find them, you're not trying to sell them. You're not trying to do anything except, hey, we're here to see if you need help. And that's it. I know a lot of people are very aggressive in the approach to this, but they screw themselves by coming across as investors. If I said to you contract or agreement, which is softer, agreement. If I said foreclosure or auction, auction is a lot softer. So when you're talking to sellers, think about vanilla ice cream. Just be vanilla. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Right in the middle, be polite, be respectful. If they don't need your help, thank them for their time. Leave a card in case you change your mind. Do you mind if I follow up and get your phone number and email? And I'll send you some information on the value of this home. Give them some value so that they do share their phone number or their email. As always, thank you for watching. For more real estate investment and legal real estate content, please subscribe to our channel. Please follow me on social media, which you can find linked in the description below. Don't forget to visit thevictormaas.com, where you can register for coaching and my future events. To listen to the podcast, please search for The Victor Maas Real Estate Show, wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, link below. Until next time, this is Victor Maas, signing off. Take care.